All right, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting day of mathematics. Whoop, whoop. Warm-up number 48 is on your screen. By now, you should be able to do all four of them. That was part of the warm-up that we did on the previous session. But once again, number one, it says simplify and round your answer to the nearest tenth of square root of 60. Number two reads graph f of x equals x cubed without a table. Then write the rule and graph the transformation if g of x equals a times f of parentheses 1 over bx minus h close parentheses plus k, given the parameters a equals 1, b equals 1, h equals 3, and k equals -4. Number three says solve by completing the square and allow for imaginary numbers. Equation given, x squared minus 8x minus 20 equals y. And number four says compute the voltage for the resistor of the electric circuit. Current that is given is 24 plus 12i. And then the diagram, just make sure you copy that and you just work out the voltage for the resistor. All right, by now you should be able to do all four of them. I'll give you some time, copy that and go. Also, just a heads up, guys, for this session, you're gonna need your graphing notebook. So we're going to start off without graphing, but then towards the end, we're going to have 3 examples that require graphing. So at the end, make sure you get at least 3 coordinate planes ready from -10 to 10. And we're back at transformations. Some of you that love transformations, right? Am I right? Am I right? Let's go. All right. Give me a little bit more time for that warm up. Go. All right, here we go. Let's go over the warm up. Just for the sake of time, it's going to go a little faster. By now, you should be done. For number one, we know that in order for us to simplify this to the nearest tenth, we need to know between what two perfect square numbers 60 is found. Or another way of thinking about it, what numbers can we find the square root of that are close to 60? Well, the numbers that are close are 49 and 64. Those two we can find the square root. So if I take the square root of 49, that's 7. Square root of 64 is 8. So the square root of 60, since it's in between both of them, that means the square root of 60 is approximately 7 point something, because it's in between 7 and 8. Okay, so what is 60 minus 49? That's 11 over. Then from there, what is 64 minus 49? That is 15. And then from there, once you do the division, you get close to 7.7. Hands if you got that. Yes, good, thank you. Let's go with number two. With number two, let me make some space here. And it says graph without a table. So let me graph that right here really quick. And we have X and Y. And right now I'm only gonna graph the point here, starting at the point of origin, 0, 0. Let's call it the vertex for right now. So the vertex. And this graph, a cubic function looks something like this once you have your points. Is that correct? There it is. But I'm only focusing on this point right now that's at 0, 0. So we're gonna do a transformation. I'm gonna move that point. That's gonna move the entire function according to these parameters. So let's see. So we got A is 1, B is 1, H is 3, K is -4. So if I rewrite this, this is G of X equals 1 times F of 1 over 1X minus 3, and this is cubed because it's a cubic function, -4. So if I write this one more time and simplify it, this is G of X equals parentheses X minus 3 cubed minus 4. And what are the two parameters that are left for us to do? H and K. H takes us to the right, K takes us down because it's a -4. So that means I'm going to take this point here at 0, 0 for this function. Doesn't matter what function it is. Right now it's a cubic. And it's going to take us what? 3 to the right and 4 down. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right. Then I go 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So my new point, instead of being 0, 0, we're at 3, -4. And where did I get that from? From H and K. Does everybody see that? We got that from where? H and K. So that means my function, if I was to move all the points, should be somewhere down here like so. Okay. Hands if you got that. Something like that, yeah? Okay. All right. Completing the square. I'm not going to go through the process. I've been giving you plenty of this, plus the home play you did. So what you get for this one? X sub 1 and X sub 2. What you get for X sub 1, Alberto?
You get, no idea.
All right, thank you. And what you get for X sub 1?
8x? No?
No. Addie, X sub 1, X sub 2.
I got 10 and negative 2.
That is correct. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. And last but not least, it says voltage for the resistor. Formula is V equals capital I for current times Z, which is the impedance. So V equals the current given is 24 plus 12I. The impedance for the resistor, there's 2 resistors here and here, 3 and 1, that's 4, and it's a constant. That's not an imaginary. So if you distribute, the voltage going through the resistors is 96 plus 48I. Hands if you got that. Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Like I said, make sure you stay focused throughout, guys. If you're doing any gaming, those of you that are gaming right now, stop it. I don't want to have some of you among us that are gaming. See what I did there? Okay. Anyways, stay focused. Stop your social media stuff. Our agenda for today, warm-up number 48. Today, we're focusing on the circle. We're moving on to transformations, guys. So make sure you stay focused, please. Everything that I've given you up to right now, they're all going to come together in today's session. You're going to be like, man, Mr. Q, it's like you knew this was coming. Hey, I got you. I got you. And your home play for today and tomorrow are pages 165, 166, and 167 only. See how that sounds? When you say only, it makes it seem like very little. Yeah? You guys like that? Pretty good, right? All right, let's move on. And reminder, tutoring after lunch, be there or be elsewhere. Yeah, okay. All right, your asynchronous Nearpod session code is IFTMZ. IFTMZ. All right. Your home play from the previous session is, it was 10 problems for completing this, I'm sorry, finding the distance. Yes, we did. Everybody got that? Yeah. And that was just for you. We're not turning that into Canvas. That was just for you to practice. You're like, what? Oh yeah. Thank you, Mr. Q. You're welcome. Much love for you guys. See what I do for you guys? Get you guys ready. I see just shaking her head like, Mr. Q, you're wrong. No, I am right. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Once again, your home play is pages 165, 166, 167. Let's move on. Our objective for today, I can write and graph the standard form equation of a circle. Once again, I can write and graph the standard form equation of a circle. By the looks of it, the concept for today is going to be the circle. Notice it's in green. Yes, the circle. We're going to focus on the circle. We're going to bring it back. Some of us already saw it in elementary and middle school. I'm bringing it back. But today we're going to look at it through the lens of transformations and graphing. However, we first need to understand the definition, and then from there we're going to be writing our equation in general or standard form, and then we're going to graph the circle using that form. Okay? All right, here we go. So what is a circle? A circle is, definition, the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a given point called the center of a circle. And repeat that again. The circle is the set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a given point. And what's that given point called? It's called the center of the circle. The set of all points on a plane that are equidistant. What do you think equidistant means? What do you guys think? Equidistant.
Equally
The same
distant.
distance?
Yeah, equal distance or same distance. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so that means that the set of all points that are the same distance away from a given point, which is the center of a circle. Man, you guys are on top of it. Let's go. Okay. So let me sketch a circle down here. Check this out. There it is. It's in green. So there's my circle. Usually when we sketch a circle like this, that is also known as a circumference. I'm going to cover some terminology that we already know by now, right? So look at it in green. Now, let's go over the definition. According to the definition, it's a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from a given point known as the center of a circle. So check this out. In order for me to make this circumference, there's an infinite amount of points, like little points that connect. You guys see them? Yeah, you can imagine, right? And they are all what? Equidistant. That means that they're the same distance from where? From the center of the circle. So let me sketch the center right here. There it is. Center of the circle. So now, thinking about it like that, here's my center. That means if I place a point here, that's the same distance of a point that's over here, over here, over here, over here. It doesn't matter where you place a point. It's the same distance from the center. All right? Today also we're going to be talking about the radius. The radius is a segment or the distance from the center to the circumference. Here's the segment here, or the distance from the center to the circumference, or the distance from this point to this point. And also I remember that when you were in elementary or middle school, they gave you one more term for the center. Who remembers that term? The last term for the center? Yes, good. The diameter. The diameter is the one that cuts the circle in half. Now today we're not going to be working with the diameter as much, or the circumference. We are going to need it in order for us to sketch our circle, but today we're going to focus on the center and the radius. So make sure you keep that in mind. So I don't think we need like to reiterate this anymore. So give me an example of your own. What isn't a circle? Michael, what do you think?
A square.
A square, okay, thank you. Jesus?
A triangle.
Triangle, okay. And so on and so forth. I'm gonna throw in a rectangle. And now it looks like a face. You guys see a face here? Or is it me? Do you see it, Victor? Yeah? Anyways, let's hashtag this. What makes a circle a circle? Hashtag what? Anthony, what do you think?
Hashtag equal points.
Equal points. Okay. And just to clarify, let's just write equal distant points. Okay. And so on and so forth. And you add your own hashtags, yes? All right. So without further ado, let me give you the general form or the standard form of a circle, but looking at through the lens of transformations. You guys ready? Here we go. Write this down. Standard form equation of a circle. Write it down. Parentheses x minus h, close parentheses squared, plus parentheses y minus k, close parentheses squared, equals r squared. Now your brain right now is absorbing this really well because it should sound a little familiar, because I already gave you guys plenty of practice in your noodle. Look, check this out. Something squared plus something squared equals something squared. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, Something squared plus something squared equals something squared. Where does that come from? The Pythagorean theorem. Let's go. And if I was to solve here for r, and I take the square root here, we end up with r equals square root of something, which is the distance formula. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just giving you this form. So this is what we need to come up with at the end, guys. At the end, our equation needs to look like this in order for us to have our circle, standard form for the circle, the equation, and to graph a circle, we need it in this form. Now let's go with the obvious, with blue. Over here on the right side, we have the letter R. If we're talking about the circle, what do you think R stands for?
The radius.
Yes, label that radius. Radius, that is correct. Now look, I prepped your noodle very well with plenty of practice on the warm-up. So you that were paying attention, look up. I have an H here, and I have a K here. What did I call that when we were doing the, on the warm-ups? What did I call that? I call it the vertex, right? But today, we're not gonna call it the vertex because it's the point that we move together with a circle. This is known as the center of the circle, the center of the circle. So basically, whenever H and K move, the center of the circle, instead of being at 0, 0, it's gonna move to wherever that transformation is, okay? Yes, Mr. Q, all right. All right, so now that we have all the parts and we know where this comes from, yes? So your anxiety should be at ease because you did plenty of practice on the last session with the distance formula, and you know, and everything's already making sense. Now that we have this, let's start off by writing the equation given only certain information. Let's start with example 1. Copy this, please.
Thank you.
Example 1.
May I please be excused? I could have missed the first night and I'm not paying attention. I'll just watch your video.
Oh.
And I'll send you an email.
Yeah, that's fine. Get some rest. Bye. It says, write the equation of the circle with center -3, 2, and radius 4. Copy that, please. Just copy it. I'm going to go over the process. All right. Write your utensils down. Look up to the screen. Here we go. So you already copied it. Just relax. Pay attention, please, and then I'll have you copy it right after. Please, pretty please. Ready? Here it goes. It's going to go pretty fast. Focus. It says, write the equation of the circle with center -3, 2, and radius 4. So the first thing we do is write our standard form of equation, which is parentheses, x minus h, close parentheses squared, plus parentheses y minus k squared equals to r squared. And right now you're just paying attention. I'll have you copy at the end. Next, we're going to label the information that they give us. What do they give us? The center. That means that the first number, -3, is h, and the number 2 is k. All right. What else do they give us? The radius 4. That means 4 is our what? R. Now that we have that, stop copying, Victor. Focus. Now that I have that, I go parentheses x minus close parentheses squared plus parentheses y minus parentheses squared equals blank squared. Let me substitute the values that were given. H is -3. So here for H, I write -3. Next, K is 2. So I write 2. And the radius is 4. I write it right there. And now I just simplify. Here it goes. Parentheses, x, what is negative times a negative? +3, close parentheses squared, plus, can I simplify this anymore? No, y minus 2 squared equals, what is 4 squared? That's 16. And this is the equation for the circle. Copy that, please. Make sure you're using your colors. All right, let's see if we got the process correct. They gave us the problem, write the equation of the circle with centers -3, 2, and the radius 4. First thing we did, we wrote our general form equation for the circle, which is parentheses x minus h close parentheses squared plus parentheses y minus k close parentheses squared equals r squared. From there, we label what they give us. We label our h and our k and our r. From there, we substitute those values into the original standard form equation, and then we simplify, and that's our equation for the circle. Show me with your fingers, so I'll come to your R with that so far. Yeah, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, so basically it's just substituting and simplifying. Let's do another one. Here we go. Example 1Q. Write the equation of the circle with center 1, -4, and radius 2. Let's do this one together. You don't have to write the instructions. You have to write the center 1, -4, and radius 2, since you already have the instructions for the previous one. So let's see. What's the first thing we do? We write our form, yes? What's the form? Parentheses x minus h close parentheses squared plus parentheses y minus k close parentheses squared equals r squared. Next, we label what they give us. What is our center? 1, -4, that means 1 is h, and -4 is k. And the radius is 2, so that's our r. Okay, so I rewrite the general form, and I write x minus, leave an empty space squared, plus y minus, leave an empty space squared, equals empty space squared. Substitute the values. H is 1, so that goes right there. K is -4, that goes right here, -4. R is 2, that goes right here. Okay. And then we simplify. Let's see, can we simplify the first one? No, it stays as x minus 1 squared plus. How about the second one? Y, what is negative times a negative? That's a positive 4 squared equals. And what is 2 squared? That is 4. And so we got that. Yeah. Show me your fingers, so I'll come to your R with these so far. 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, we got this, yes? Okay, let's do another one. Ready? Here we go. Example 1, super Q. Don't copy this. Don't copy it. It reads, write the equation of the circle with center 8, 9, and radius 10. Don't copy it. But I want you in your noodle, think about the general form for the center. Substitute those values in your noodle. Simplify. All right, what's our final equation for the center? Jaziel.
It's in parentheses x minus 8 parentheses squared plus parentheses y minus 9 parentheses squared equals 100.
Let's go. Hands, have you got that? Yes? All right, write that down for example 1 super Q. You don't have to do the process, just write the equation, write the center and the radius. And we're gonna do one more. You do this next one completely by yourself. Let's see how you do. All right, example 1 mega cube. Center is -3, 0, and the radius is 6. Write your equation for the circle using that information. I'll give you some time. Ready and go. All right, let's see what we got. We write our general form or standard form, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Label what they give us. They give us the center -3, 0, so h is -3 and k is 0. And the radius given is 6, so our r is 6. From there we rewrite this, x minus parentheses squared plus y minus parentheses squared equals blank squared. So our r is 6 on the right side of the equation. Our h is -3, so I write -3. Our k is 0. Simplify that. So we got x, negative times a negative is a +3 close parentheses squared, plus y minus 0 squared equals to 36. Now, sometimes they're going to present it like this, but can I simplify this second parentheses more? Yes, this would be x plus 3 squared plus, since the 0 is 0, we're left with what? Y squared equals to 36. All right. So, show me your fingers so I'll come to your R with this so far. 5, 5, 5, 5. Yes, we got this. Okay. So, it's straightforward when they give us the center and the radius. But what if they don't give us all the information? Well, we'll copy this. Example 2. It says, write the equation of the circle with center -4, -3, and containing the point 2, 5. Copy that, please. Once again, it says, write the equation of the circle with center -4, -3, and containing the point 2, 5. Write the equation of the circle with center -4, -3, and containing the point 2, 5. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one once again by myself. Please stay focused, and I'll let you copy right after. Please, Purdy, please do not start doing all the process with me until you see the process complete. Okay, here it goes. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Ready? Here it goes. So what is the objective? We need to write our equation. Okay, so I'm gonna start like we did earlier. So I'm gonna write my equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. And right now you're just paying attention. Next, I'm gonna label what they give me. What do they give me? They give me the center at -4, -3, so that -4 is h, -3 is k. But they don't give me a radius. What do they give me? A point. But do we have values for that point? Yes. The 2 is an x, and the 5 is a y. Some of you are already like, oh, I see what you're doing, Mr. Q. Yeah. Now all we have to do is substitute those values, and we need our r in order to write our equation. So watch. I'm going to do parentheses with a minus in between squared plus parentheses with a minus in between squared equals to r squared, because we don't know what r is. Let me substitute values. They give us the x and the y. X is 2, y is 5. H is -4, and k is -3. Let me simplify. You're just paying attention. You'll copy a little bit. Here we go. Parentheses, we got 2, negative times a negative is a +4 squared, plus 5, negative times negative is a +3 squared equals r squared. Next, this is 2 plus 4 is 6 squared, plus 5 plus 3 is 8 squared, which equals to r squared. 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64, r squared. 36 plus 64 is 100 equals to r squared. And to solve for r, take the square root. So that means 10 equals r. Copy that, please. That's half of the work. Copy, please. All right, as you're finishing copying that, let's see. They gave us the center and they gave us a point. What they didn't give us is a radius, which is needed to write our equation. So what did we do? We used that information. We wrote our standard form equation, substituted those values into the equation, and then we solved for r. Now that we have the radius and now that we have a center, do we know how to write the equation given those two pieces of information? Yeah, let's do the next part together. That means I need to write again my general form, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. I rewrite this x minus blank squared plus y minus blank squared equals blank squared. Let's substitute values. What is r? R is 10. What is h? -4. What is k? -3. Let's simplify. So this is parentheses x plus 4 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 100. And that's the equation for the circle. Show me with your fingers how come you are with this. Up to right there, we got some 5, 5, 5, 5, 5s, 4s, okay. What do you guys notice we added to what we were doing earlier? Notice what we were doing earlier is this second part right here. So what was added for this one? That they didn't give us the radius, but with the information given, we were able to find the radius. Okay? All right. So let's see how you do with one by yourself. Ready? Here we go. Example 2Q. It says, write the equation of the circle with center -2, 5 and containing the point -2, -1. Write the equation of the circle with center -2, 5 and containing the point -2, -1. I'll give you some time, copy that and go, see how you do in writing your equation. All right, you should be just about done. Here goes the process one more time, see if we got it. First things first, we write our standard form equation for the circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Label what they give us. They give us h being -2, k 5. They don't give us a radius, so I'm going to label this point that they give me, that containing that point. We got x, which is -2, and y, which is -1. We rewrite this general form equation, but I do parentheses with a negative in between squared plus parentheses with a negative in between squared equals to r squared, because they don't give us a radius and we need to solve for the radius. Let me substitute values. My x and my y. X is -2, y is -1. Okay. H is -2, k is 5. Let me simplify. -2, negative times a negative is a +2 squared plus -1 and -5, that's -6 squared equals to r squared. Look at this part, -2 and -2 and +2, this cancels because it's a 0. That leaves us with -6 squared, which is 36 equals r squared. And to solve, we take the square root. So 6 equals r. And so we got up to right there. Okay, good. From there, we rewrite our standard form equation, which is parentheses x minus h squared plus parentheses y minus k squared equals r squared. Now that we have our information, I rewrite this again, x minus blank squared plus y minus blank squared equals to blank squared. Now our radius on the right side is 6. Our h is -2, and our k is 5. Let's simplify this. So we end up with x plus 2 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals to 36. That's our equation for the circle. And so we got that. All right. All right, so once again, up to right there. Show me with your fingers how come you are with this process so far. 5, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, some of you like right away 5. Yeah, we got this, yeah? Okay. Let's crank it up a notch, yeah? Let's see, do I have anything different? Yeah, let's do one more of these just to make sure we got it. Do this one by yourself, see if you can go a little bit faster. It says, write the equation of the circle with center 2, 2. And containing the point -1, 6, sorry. Once again, the center is 2, 2, containing the point -1, 6. See if you can do that a little bit quicker, copy and go. All right. Let's see what you get for this one. Our final answer. Danny, what'd you get? Okay. Alyssa, help him out.
I got parentheses x minus 2 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 25.
25.
Oh, yeah, 25, yeah.
25. Yeah. Hands if you got that. That is correct. All right, let's move on. We got this. So far, we've written equations given the center and the radius, then equations given the center and a containing a point. But now, we're going to move on to the next section, which is writing an equation given an equation, and then we're going to graph it. Now, it's going to look a little bit more robust, but hang in there. I'm going to show you the process. Here it goes. Copy this next one. You're going to need your graphing or your coordinate plane. Here we go. Example 3. Copy this, please. It reads, write the equation of the circle, then graph, given that x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 6y plus 30 equals 0. You're like, oh, snap, Mr. Q. Oh, yes, we got this. Copy that, please. I'll give you some time. Make sure you get a coordinate plane ready. If you haven't, I'll give you some time for that. Hurry up, please. All right, so they gave us example number 3, which reads, write the equation of the circle, then graph, given x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 6y plus 30 equal to 0. So please, pretty please, write your utensils down. I'll give you time to copy as we go along. We'll copy partial, then go along, copy the other partial, and continue on until we finish this problem, okay? Here we go, but stay with me, please. Stay focused, write your utensils down. So they gave us this equation. It doesn't look anything like the equation that we were writing earlier, but we need to make it look like the other one. So let me zoom in so I can go through this process. Here it goes. Let me center this. All right, so check this out. Here's the equation. Now, in order for us to make this one look like a standard form equation, we need to do a process. That process, guys, I've been giving you and having you practice that process so much that it's already in your noodle. That process is called completing the square. You're like, oh, snap, Mr. Q. Yes, that's why I gave you plenty of practice, okay? So let's think about completing the square. Ready? Okay, you're just following along. You're just paying attention. You'll have time to copy. Here we go. To complete the square for this one, let's think about the process. And I'm going to do what Yoda did. Here it goes. Look up to the screen. Use the force. Okay, we're thinking about just the process for completing the square. What is the first step? That it has to be in what? Standard form. Look at it. Is it in standard form? Let's see. Degree 2, degree 2, degree 1, degree 1, 0, 0. Yes, it's in standard form from highest to lowest degree, and it's equal to 0. Step 2, pay attention to this part. And you're just paying attention. Divide by the leading coefficient. What's the leading coefficient here? Well, it's an invisible 1, so I'm going to do that step so you guys can see it. Divide the entire equation by 1. So that ends up being x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 6y plus 30 equal to 0. Next step, eliminate what? The constant. What is my constant? The 30. So I subtract 30 to each side of the equation. I bring down the 30. Check this out. Negative 30. However, look up, please. And you're just paying attention. The left side, I would leave an empty space to complete the square. But what do you guys notice? We have 2 different types of variables now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group the variables that are alike. So we have x squared here, and I have negative 10x here. So I'm going to group those together. So I'm going to do parentheses, x squared minus 10x, leave an empty space, close parentheses, plus what other variable is alike? The y squared is alike the 6y. So I'm going to open up parentheses, y squared plus 6y, empty space, close parentheses. Copy that so far? All right. So, quick recap. Once again, they give us this general form equation and not the general form, this equation. We need to make it into a general form equation for a circle in order to graph. What is the process that we're using? For those of you that are right now kind of lost, make a little note for yourself over here on the side, put asterisk, heart. We are doing what? Completing the square. We're completing the square, that process. That's why I've been giving you plenty of practice on the warm-up. You see? You see why you need to be practicing? Because it's part of what's coming. All right, so now that we're there, the first step is in standard form. Yes, divide by the leading coefficient. The invisible number here was 1. We're divided by 1. We rewrote this. Eliminate the constant. We subtracted 30 from each side. And then we grouped like terms here and left a little blank there, okay? Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Ready? Here it goes. If I was to continue here, look up, and I didn't have this. Look up, please. I didn't have this, but only this. How do I complete the square here, Hayden? Think about it. How do I complete the square here? What would I do?
And divided by 2 squared.
Yeah, you add, let me do that here, and you're just paying attention right now, guys. I'll let you copy at the end. I'll add negative 10 divided by 2 squared, and whatever I do to one side, I do to the other, negative 10 divided by 2 squared. Thank you. How about here, Addie? What do I write here to complete the square for this one?
6 over 2 squared.
6 over 2 squared to each side of the equation, 6 over 2 squared. Hold on before you copy, look up. Let me simplify this. 6 over 2 is 3, squared is 9, plus negative 10 over 2 is negative 5 squared, that's 25, plus negative 30. I can still simplify this. 25 plus 9 is 34, minus 30, that's 4. I'm gonna bring this down, x squared minus 10x plus 25, plus parentheses y squared plus 6y plus 9, and I bring it one more down, x squared minus 10x plus 25, close parentheses, plus y squared plus 6y plus 9, close parentheses. Copy that, please. All right, so the process so far, we're up to right there. Now, if this was to be a regular equation, it didn't have this y and the y squared and all this, but it had this, we needed to factor this trinomial, is that correct? So how do we factor this trinomial? Using the shortcut. What is the square root of the first? X, square root of the last, 5, sine of the middle, minus, squared. Now we have plus, now we're gonna do the same thing for this trinomial. Square root of the first, y, square root of the last, 3, sine of the middle, plus, and we write that squared, and all that equal to 4. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the standard form equation of the circle. You're like, what? I know, right? Am I right? Am I right? You're like, Mr. Q. And now from here, we can actually write our center. Look at it. Can you identify H and K? Yes. Mia, what'd you get for our H and K for this equation?
5 and negative 3.
That is correct. 5, negative 3. 5, this is supposed to be a negative, so that's why it's negative 3. And with that said, Mia, what is our radius? Careful.
2.
Yes, let's go. That is correct, guys. Make a note. The 4 is actually our square. To find the radius, we take the square root, so that means it's 2. All right, so now that we have that, check this out. Let me zoom out. Let's graph this. Here we go. Start with the center. The center is 5, negative 3. 5, negative 3. The radius is 2. That means there's points 2 steps away from the center. So there's a point 2 steps away to the right, 1, 2. To the top, 1, 2. To the left, 1, 2. to the bottom, 1, 2, and all the way around so we can sketch our circumference. And there's our circle. Woo, let's go. Now, yeah. I can't hear you.
Why isn't it a -5?
Okay, because remember for the standard form of the circle, it has a negative in the form. You remember that, Hayden? It's like this, x minus h. What's part of the equation? The negative, right? So here's a negative, so what number is next to it? Just 5. Then we have plus y minus k squared. So what's supposed to be here? A negative, but since it's not, that's why this is -3. Yeah. All right, show me your fingers, how come you are with these? 5, 5, 4, 5, 4. Yeah, we got this. Let's do one more just to make sure we got this, okay? Let's go a little bit faster. We're gonna graph it. Here we go, last one. And by the way, if we think about it in terms of a transformation, remember, any function we usually start, parent function, we start from 0, 0. Is that correct? And h and k moved it what? 5 to the right, 3 down. Let's see, 5 to the right, 3 down. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Let's do this one. Example 3 mega cube. Copy this. 3x squared plus 3y squared plus 6x plus 12y plus 3 equal to 0. All right. So what process are we using? Completing the square. What is the first step? Standard form. Is it in standard form? Degree of 2, degree of 2, degree of 1, 1, 0, 0. Yes. Next step, divide by the leading coefficient. What's my leading coefficient, guys? Show me your fingers. Yes, I see you guys saying 3. So yeah, we divide the entire equation by 3. So 3 divided by 3, we're left with x squared plus y squared plus 2x plus 4y plus 1 equal 0. Eliminate the constant. So what do? Subtract what? 1. Yes, subtract 1, subtract 1. We're left with -1 on this side, and we need to group these together, x squared with a 2x. So we write parentheses x squared plus 2x, empty space, parentheses plus, group these two, y squared and the 4y. So y squared plus 4y, empty space, parentheses. Next, we need to complete the square here. What do I do there? 2 over 2 squared. And what do I do to one side? I do to the other. How do I complete the square here? 4 over 2 squared. Add 4 over 2 squared. All right, so let's simplify this. So this is 4 divided by 2 is 2. The square, that's 4 plus 1 plus -1. Let me bring this down. X squared plus 2x plus 1 plus y squared plus 4y plus 4, parentheses. All right, so eliminate -1 and 1. Those are a 0 pair. Bring down the 4, and we end up with x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus, parentheses, y squared plus 4y plus 4. All right, let's factor. Shortcut, square root of the first. X, square root of the last, 1, sine of the middle, plus, squared. Factor this one, square root of the first, y, square root of the last, 2, sine of the middle, plus, squared, and equal to 4. So, center, what's our center? Hayden, let's see.
-1, -2.
Yes, -1, -2. And our radius is 2 because we take the square root of 4. Let me graph that. -1, -2. 2 steps in all directions. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we graph our circle. Let's go. Let's go. Show me your fingers. How come you are with this? 5 4s, 5 4s. Okay, and that's going to be your home plate, guys. All 3 examples are in the home plate for tonight. So once again, tutoring right after lunch. Be there or be elsewhere. Have a good one, guys. If I don't see you, have a great weekend. Peace. Bye.